I'm Abby Kowal with Exposed Sports, and this is the recap week number 7. Let's go ahead and get started with the crosstown rivalry, where Rockwall defeated Rockwall Heath 38-17. Heath struggled in the first half with only 114 offensive yards. Quarterback Josh Hoover, who came into the game as a leading area passer in 6A, was held to only 58 yards in the first half. Jackson Smith of Rockwall had 3 touchdowns for 110 yards, one being a 20-yard pass from Braden Locke. This touchdown would give Smith his 15th receiving touchdown. That makes him the leader in touchdown receptions. Zach Henry rushed for 169 yards and had 2 touchdowns for Rockwall, as Khalil Catlett had 108 yards on 18 carries. Although Heath quarterbacks struggled in the first half, Hoover heated up and ended up with 280 yards and 1 touchdown to Corbin Cleveland on a 16-yard pass. Heath finished with 372 total yards in the loss. With a last-minute touchdown with 10 seconds remaining, Lovejoy defeated Frisco Reedy 20-19. It was a close one at Frisco Memorial Stadium as Lovejoy and Frisco Reedy competed till the very end. Going into the half, Lovejoy was up 14-10, but Reedy responded quickly by scoring 9 unanswered points, 6 of those being a 72-yard pick six by Jack Pruitt. Lovejoy, up 19-14 with 3 minutes left in the game, had the opportunity to seal the deal with a 45-yard field goal attempt, but it was no good. With 10 seconds remaining, Lovejoy quarterback R.W. Rucker found Reed Westerfelt for a 7-yard touchdown to win the game 20-19. In a Frisco rivalry, Frisco Lone Star defeated Frisco Independent 63-14. Both teams entered the matchup undefeated. Lone Star's quarterback Garrett Rangel passed for 338 yards and had 3 touchdowns in only 3 quarters in the win. Marvin Mims caught 7 passes for 138 yards and 2 scores, including a 43-yard touchdown reception. In total, Lone Star racked up 29 first downs and 582 total offensive yards and held Independence to only 274. Both touchdowns for Independence came from Braylon Braxton in the second and fourth quarter. Cedar Hill gave Mansfield Summit their first loss of the season in a 49-21 victory. Cedar Hill quarterback Kaidon Salter threw for 2 touchdowns and ran for 2 more in the victory over Mansfield Summit on Friday night. One of those touchdown passes was a 50-yarder to Brian Rainey in the third quarter to go up 35-7. Quinn Bright was also a big help for the Longhorns with 131 yards and 7 caught passes. For Mansfield Summit, Jalen Travis got the first score of the night with a 29-yard touchdown reception from Kanan McKinney in the second quarter. They scored twice more in the fourth on a Hall Presley 31-yard reception from sophomore quarterback David Hopkins, and then a 10-yard rushing touchdown by Hopkins to end the game. In a 24-14 victory, Flower Mound Marcus defeated Hebron on Friday night. Hebron got on the board first with a Carson Harris 11-yard run. However, Marcus wouldn't let them see the scoreboard again until the third quarter. After a 10-yard pass to Colin Sutherland for a touchdown, Marcus recovered a fumble and tacked on a field goal to go up 10-6. However, they weren't done for the first quarter. They then recovered an onside kick, which led to a 1-yard touchdown run by Ethan Barr to go into halftime, leading 17-6. Sutherland would score again in the third quarter on a 17-yard reception from Garrett Nussmeyer to go up 24-6. To end the game, Hebron's Colton Bradford would tack on 1 more TD in the loss. Nussmeyer threw for 182 yards and had 2 touchdowns on the game. South Grand Prairie got the win over Grand Prairie 22-14. South Grand Prairie's Sean Stiegel got the first touchdown on the night on a 2-yard run in the second quarter, but Grand Prairie answered immediately with a Tylexia Strotter 53-yard touchdown run to take the lead 7-6. They scored again before the half on a Hugo Vidal 2-yard run and went into halftime with a 5-point lead, but they wouldn't score again as South Grand Prairie scored twice more to get the win, one being a Josh Nicholson 58-yard pass and the other a 57-yard interception return from Jacob Beatty. Longview pulled away in the second half to defeat Mesquite Horn 44-20. Longview got on the board first with a Caden Meredith 47-yard run in the first quarter and scored right after as Haynes King threw 160 yards to Caius Moore for a TD. Horn then answered as quarterback Davizé Gabriel scored 2 touchdowns under 90 seconds to make it 13-all. One of those touchdowns was a 53-yard pass to Ben Wyatt and the other a 10-yard pass to Derek Jackson. It was close at the half as Longview had a 23-20 lead over Horn, but the Lobos pulled away and scored 21 points. Caden Meredith rushed for 354 yards and had 4 touchdowns on the game, with one of those being the last score, a nice 79-yard run to get the win 44-20. Let's get right into our top plays and start with number 10. Ohio State commit Jackson Smith with a 20-yard reception from Braden Locke. Number 9, Mansfield Summit's Hall Presley's 31-yard touchdown reception from David Hopkins. Garrett Rangel's 50-yard pass to Jaden Nixon will take that number 8 spot. Longview quarterback Haynes King threw 160 yards to Caius Moore and will take number 7. At number 6, Ben Wyatt of Mesquite Horn with a 53-yard touchdown reception. Grand Prairie's Tylexius Strotter with a 53-yard run is why he made number 5 this week. Number 4 goes to Josh Nicholson with a 58-yard reception for South Grand Prairie. To start our top 3 off, Cedar Hill's Brian Rainey would catch one for 50 yards from Kaidon Salter. Number 2 will go to Longview's Caden Meredith with a 79-yard run. And receiving that number 1 spot this week, Frisco Reedy's Jack Pruitt's 74-yard reception return. Now it's time to find out our top players of the week, starting with offensive player Kaidon Salter of Cedar Hill. The junior quarterback went 17 of 21 with 283 passing yards and 4 touchdowns in the victory over Mansfield Summit. Defensive player of the week will go to Jesuit senior Jack Barton. Barton had 12 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, and 1 interception this week. Last but not least, underclassman of the week will go to Frisco Lone Stars quarterback Garrett Rangel. Rangel went 22 of 23 for 379 pass yards and 3 touchdowns, as well as 31 rushing yards and 1 TD. Those were our players of the week, and don't forget, if you think you deserve a spot, make sure to message us and let us know. This week, our top upcoming game will be Arlington Martin versus Arlington. The Arlington Martin Warriors will look for redemption this year as they will face the Arlington Colts on Friday night at 7 p.m. Martin, undefeated in district play, has outscored their opponents 160-15 this season and will look for another win this week. Martin's quarterback Zach Mundell has 737 yards and 7 touchdowns on the season and has offensive help from Chris Kraft and Cal Robinson. Kraft has 450 yards and 6 touchdowns, and Robinson 221 yards and 3 touchdowns, and the whole Warrior team will be ready to take the field and get redemption after last year's loss. For Arlington, quarterback Chris Sims has put up big numbers as he has 1,339 yards and 21 touchdowns this season. He also has had a lot of offensive help with BJ Rogers and Charles Brown. Rogers has 500 yards and 6 touchdowns, as Brown has 743 yards and 9 touchdowns on the season. It will be a battle out there at UT Arlington, and there's no doubt both of these teams will leave it all on the field. If you'd like to see us out at one of your games, make sure to comment below and let us know. I'm Abby Kowal with Exposed Sports, and this was the recap, week number 7.